Well, the RBI board under the new governor, Mr. Shaktikanta Das, met for the first time on Friday. The board discussed some issues which have created a bit of friction between the RBI and the centre in the recent past. Ritu Singh, who covered that closed-door meeting, joins us now with the details. Ritu, what did the board discuss in that meeting?
Well, it was definitely a much shorter meeting compared to what we saw on the 19th of November. So what the board did take up was the governance structure of the Reserve Bank of India. But the board has decided that that matter requires more examination and therefore no decision was taken per se. Do remember, the government has been clamoring for more powers of the RBI board to have a say in the decision making, which has so far been opposed by the Reserve Bank of India officials. Now, of course, the other important matters that the board deliberated on were the global and domestic economic environment. They said they deliberated on currency management, on credit delivery as well as liquidity in the system. But nothing really was said on the other contentious issues of prompt corrective action norms or the capital framework of the Reserve Bank of India. On the latter, of course, in the last board meeting, it was decided that a committee would be set up to look into the capital framework, but the composition of that committee first has to be decided by the government and RBI together before any further debate can be held on the matter. And secondly, on the prompt corrective action norms, we understand, as we had reported earlier as well, the Board for Financial Supervision, which was tasked with examining the PCA framework, is yet to get back to the board with its report on the matter, and therefore the board could not really take any decision as far as any relaxation, if at all, on the prompt corrective action norms is concerned. Largely, to sum up, it looks like Shaktikanta Das in his first board meeting as the Reserve Bank of India governor has really stayed away from taking any contentious decisions.
Okay, thank you, Ritu, for that. But we also spoke to RBI board member Mr. Sachin Chaturvedi about Shaktikanta Das' first board meet. Listen into what he had to say.
He brings in his characteristic conciliatory approach. So he was very much there. He gave chance to everyone to speak. In fact, he asked everyone, which I think is absolutely democratic in terms of getting everyone along. So that was very widely appreciated in the board. Everybody enjoyed interacting and was heard. We discussed as to what are the lines within which the board functions, what are the contours of that action. So that is still to be concluded. We had some discussions, but as I'm telling you, and as the press brief from the RBI also mentions, we haven't gone beyond that point.
Well, the PCA norms, they have been widely debated. Our colleague Nisha Podar caught up with Sanjay Nair, CEO of KKR India, and began by asking him his view on the matter. Let's listen in.
The PCA banks are even further strapped. Neither can they restructure, nor do they give you NOCs, nor can they release the money. So think of this 1,000 crore company. If it's even growing by 10%, it can't get additional working capital. It then probably cuts its own supply chain, which is a smaller SME, who cuts it further, who has a smaller SME behind it. And that's exactly what this vicious cycle is. And that's when you begin to lose jobs at the bottom of the pyramid. And I think this impact we need to really, really fathom and tackle very quickly. So hopefully the RBI will attack this problem. Again, I'm not saying let the PCAs go, let the PCA banks go, but let them lend, have a new circular out, new regulations, or maybe recap the banks. But
there's enough clamour for relaxation of these norms, and RBI is working on that. And we are closely watching that as well, Sanjay.
Otherwise, my only point I want to make is if you don't do that, you're actually creating NPAs out of non-NPA situations. And that's my worry.